Hi, this is Sean Harris-Kampf, AP World History teacher at Holy Names Academy in Seattle, Washington. In addition to teaching AP World History, I am the co-chair of our Technology Committee. We are currently in year 2 of a one-to-one device program that I helped our school implement. I lead the professional development sessions dealing with technology. This includes helping teachers set up their devices and leading instruction on best practices using technology. As part of our device program, all teachers use Microsoft OneNote Class Notebook to help organize their classes. Since September 2016, I have been beta testing a feature in the OneNote Class Notebook that allows teachers to grade assignments in OneNote and send the grades directly to PowerSchool, our online grading service. By January 2017, we had worked out the bugs and were ready to train teachers on how to set up their devices to grade assignments. The professional development training in this video was with 14 teachers of varying levels of experience with OneNote. Some were members of our tech committee who are advanced users, and others use OneNote relatively infrequently and do not feel comfortable with the software. The objective of this professional development was pretty straightforward. Teachers should correctly set up OneNote to connect to PowerSchool to be able to send their grades. By the end of the session, all teachers had successfully set up their devices. There were 2 spots in this video where I left the front of the classroom to work with individual teachers who needed assistance. As I was working, other teachers were continuing to follow directions on their own. I edited the video to cut out this dead time, which covered about 2 or 2.5 minutes. Overall, I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks. Twofold. We're going to set up, we're going to take about 10 minutes hopefully, and set up OneNote and the connection to PowerSchool. And then we'll walk, once we get that done, then we'll walk through like the steps of how to grade an assignment using the grading tool. So the place that you need to be, I'll put all these directions, they're actually already in the notebook, the Student Life notebook. So if you want to see the directions on your screen, if you go to the Student Life 1617 notebook, Kim's notebook, and then go to the Technology tab, I put the directions for the connection part, which is the first part, in there, which you can actually pull those up now. And that's probably the easiest way to do this, is to look at the directions. And then I think we can do this for a few minutes going at your own pace. If you wanted to start following the directions and go through them, that's fine. If you want me to help you walk through them, I can do that as well. The main thing at the beginning is, and the first instruction before you get started is to click on Class Notebook. And then if the Update button pops up on the right-hand side, you want to run the update because you should be running the most recent version. I don't have it up here right now because I've updated it, but I did a screenshot in the directions, and the screenshot shows the update button, what it looks like.
If they want to check it, Sean, if you go to help on yours, go to help and then down, it'll tell you what, Sean can tell you what it should say about Class Notebook. If you do that, it should be 145 is the latest version.
But if it's not there,
yeah, if the update button's not there,
right,
then you're running.
So if the update button's not there, if you click help and then go to the about and just make sure it's 145, that for some reason you're not stuck without being able to update, 145 is the version you should have.
Okay, so I'll walk through the directions for you. If you want to work ahead on your own, that's ultimately, I think, up to you. So you're going to the directions for connecting. You're going to click on Class Notebook, and then there's a gear right here, and you're going to click on Connections. And you're going to select PowerSchool, and then you're going to hit Sign In. So gear, connections, and then from the drop-down menu, there's like 30 different learning management systems that you could connect to. PowerSchool is the one that we have
for our grading. So you're going to select PowerSchool. It should, and this is the one spot we've had issues with in the past, it should pop up a typical Office 365 sign-in box. So you would choose your account. If it doesn't come up, you could click use another account and be able to sign in. So go ahead and do that now. If that doesn't pop up for you, then we should talk to make sure everything works, because we've had a couple people had issues with that. Yep.
What do you mean?
And then I can do a PowerSchool course.
Awesome. You're there.
So, hold on, like.
I'll talk, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll talk about
Is
that.
it the lowest
Okay.
one?
It's the top one.
It's the top one.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, did you hear that, Mary? It's the highest one.
So,
So like.
if you, for those of you that are just connected already,
It's the top one, is the most recent.
the next step after you've done the connecting to PowerSchool, you're going to go back and click connections and do map class notebooks. And the purpose of this is to tell OneNote that your class notebook is connected to a certain class in PowerSchool. So you're going to click map class notebooks, and then there's going to be a drop-down menu. It's going to have each of your notebooks, and you're going to find your notebook for each of your classes, and then click the arrow for the drop-down menu to pick the PowerSchool class. The titles of the classes are the titles, like the code titles that PowerSchool has for our classes, and they're done by section. But the good news is that the most recent class for any section is the first one. So when I click on mine, I do connections, map class notebooks, and I drop my menu down. If it works. So when I drop my menu down, I have 5 different AP World History first periods, because I've taught AP World History 5 times now. This is chronological in order from the most recent to the oldest class, so that the top one is the one you want. The bottom one would functionally be mapping my notebook to a class I taught 5 years ago, which that information's still in PowerSchool, which is why all of these come up. But you, for any given class, you want to pick the first one. So for your first period class, you want to pick your current first period class.
But didn't you ask them, aren't they looking into fixing that?
Yeah. Questions about that part?
Sean, I think I'm one step behind because I was
Yeah.
updating. So I'm at the part where, so I'm kind of at the string. I'm
Here?
there, I'm there.
So
I've
you
got class
want to
notebook.
find your notebook of your classes, and then you click on the drop-down menu, the arrow right here on the right-hand side, and you're going to pick your class. Top of the yes, you're going to find your AP US period.
But you do RB,
If there's more than one of
I
them,
haven't,
it's
I
the
haven't.
password will stay the same. I'll come back.
yeah, and then once you do that for your all your classes, then you get okay. All right, so once you have the classes mapped, the next step, the instructions you have, the stuff on the smartboard, is you're going to do the same thing with the students. You're going to map each student in each class. So to do that, you click on connections, you click on map students, and then you select a notebook. And it'll tell you the name that's already in the class notebook. And it'll try to connect it to a name at PowerSchool. For the students whose names are identical between the class notebook and PowerSchool, it'll already map them. It'll know the students are the same. The issue we have is some of the students, when they set up their Holy Name's email address, they use a nickname. PowerSchool doesn't know the nickname. It doesn't know that Beth Burns goes by Elizabeth in PowerSchool, right? So you have to drop down the menu. So I had to do this already for Beth. You drop down the menu and select the PowerSchool student. And so you should only have to map to students whose names are different than the ones in PowerSchool. For me, it's like 3 or 4 per class.
All right, the top two. What if you have a kid in your class notebook who's not in PowerSchool?
So go ahead. Sean, and
Like,
the other one now.
you forgot to delete them from your class notebook when they left
It's not right,
in
you just
September.
have to break another map and then do.
Wait, so you have a kid in class notebook who's not here. It doesn't matter. You don't have to map him anymore.
Okay.
I
just left him out.
I have students in every class. I've got seniors who were mentors for the sophomores, and I added them to the notebook so they can help the current AP World kids. And so they show up in the notebook, but not in PowerSchool.
Got
And
it.
yeah, and that works fine. All right, so once you've mapped the students for each class, then it's set up successfully. So I want to make sure we get everyone there, and then we'll come back as a group and talk about